I often have people asking me what are the tools that I cannot live without at home. And I think once we go through them, you'll be surprised at exactly what I have, what I use, and how low tech most of these items really are. All right, here we go. What will be number 10? It is my fish spatula, or what I call a fish spatula. I've been using one of these since I started cooking 26 years ago, and what I love about it is it's not just good for fish, it's really good for pancakes, and it's really good for flipping over eggs, especially in the morning for my kids. But I like the wooden handled ones because it just has a better feel.
They're nice and flexible.
And flexible, and just an overall great tool, even like for taking cookies off of a baking sheet. Number 9 has to be my rubber spatula. And if we look back at the carrot cake episode, you'll notice that I had a larger one, which drove me nuts, but this is my favorite one. It's short, it's good for cleaning out bowls, it's good for making scrambled eggs and not scratching a pan if it's non-stick. It's even good for slapping. No, I'm just joking.
It does make a pretty darn good slapping sound though.
It does, but it's good for lots of odds and ends, but especially for getting into those bowls when you really needed to, but I like mine especially for scrambled eggs and omelets. Number 8 would have to be my MICROPLANE. And I'm surprised that this is actually number 8 because I do use it a lot. I use it not just for lemon, orange, and lime zest, but I use it a lot for grating cheese. And I use it especially for doing garlic and ginger. And I go through how many of these a year, Dad? Like a few?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because they will dull over time.
They will dull over time.
But you can also use them around the holidays for nutmeg on your rum and eggnog.
Good call.
There you go.
Nutmeg, rum and eggnog. Number 7, my thermometer. So I've got like a digital read thermometer. I usually keep it on my fridge, and at work I usually keep it right above my station. I like this because it's not only good for getting the temperature for meat, like especially chicken or pork, but if I'm making ricotta at work, I need to know the temperature of my milk and cream, or if I'm doing candy, this is really good too.
It's called like a javelin, I believe.
A javelin?
Yeah.
I don't know, I love it because it's good for many different things. Number 6 is a weapon that has hurt many of us. I call this a speed peeler.
Y-shaped peeler.
Y-shaped peeler. Yeah. Obviously for peeling carrots, parsnips. Good for peeling hard cheese, which I usually use this more for peeling hard cheese. For making zucchini chips at work, and for making parsnip chips. They are very sharp, so be very careful.
And why do you like that shape?
This is just easier, more ergonomical?
Ergonomic?
Sure. 5, my tongs. I don't like long tongs, I like short tongs.
And you don't like ones that lock?
I hate the ones that lock because I always get my hand stuck in them and it pinches. This is especially good if you're barbecuing, or if we're using it on the smoker. I like it if I've got pasta, I can use it to pull out my noodles, same with the noodly soup. I don't usually use it for plating, but tongs are very, very good to have.
Renee can often be seen walking around the restaurant with tongs in one hand. It's basically an extension, yeah.
Tongs in one hand and cloth in the other.
That's right.
4 is gonna be my collection of wooden spoons. I like wooden spoons as opposed to metal spoons. So this is actually my favorite one from work, and as you can tell, it's quite burnt.
It's well seasoned, let's say.
It's well seasoned, and at work they got me some new spoons because they were really sad when they saw this spoon, which I've had for 16 years, and this one, which I got in Cape Breton from this mysterious man who would like carve applewood, and I have a few of his like spoons, I think. Yeah. These are my favorite like 4 wooden spoons. If you're using a wooden spoon, and I know you see me do this at work sometimes, if someone's using it and they leave the spoon in the pot, I'm always right behind them and I pull it out because it will impart flavor. Number 3 is BENRINER. I know a few people have asked what this is. It's a Japanese mandolin called a BENRINER, is the actual like company name that makes it. Easy to find. I go through a lot of these during the year, and it comes with some like fun little blades. So if you're trying to julienne something or thinly slice something, this is key. Especially like at work, if I'm making like a cabbage slaw, I'll do my cabbages on here. If I'm julienning for like pickled carrot or pickled daikon, this is really good. But again, like the speed peeler, be very, very, very careful. I've certainly like taken thin layers of skin off of my fingers.
It does come with a guard.
It does come with a guard.
Recommended for the inexperienced mandolin users, because doing it without one, you're definitely taking some risks.
Well, I find the guard is like, to me, is really awkward. So sometimes I'll actually just use a cloth. So when you're done with it, there is actually like a knob on the back here, so it can show you like the thickness, how thick or thin you want it. But I always say to everybody, make sure to close it, because if you put this in the dish pit or if anyone's going to grab it, if it's not closed and the blade is exposed, you're gonna like take your finger off. So obviously number 2 would have to be my knives.
Tell us about your knives.
And I don't have like a crazy collection of knives. I get into a knife and I like it because I like the way that it feels in my hand. I like if it's lightweight or if it's heavy. I always have a really good boning knife. It's flexible. So I use this for filleting fish. I use this when we're cleaning strip loins at work. A really good serrated knife is key. Not only is a serrated knife really good for cutting bread, but it's really good for slicing tomatoes.
And that's a Groman.
This is a Groman, which is made here in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, in Pictou. They're great knives.
And I actually have I love wood handled knives. And I like this too because it's like one whole piece. This is a very special knife. It was made by Iron Gull Knives, but I use this like as pretty much like as my day-to-day knife, as my chef's knife, I guess you would say. I also really like this one. I don't even know what this is called, but it's like, I'm a small person with small hands, so this is like a little like Henkel that someone gave me as a gift this year. And I just like it because it's light and it's really good for chopping, like slicing onions or cutting cheese for the kids' lunches.
Like just a mini chef's knife?
It's just like a mini chef's knife.
For small hands.
And I have small hands.
Yeah.
But everyone's always surprised with my paring knives because I just picked these up at the superstore.
President's Choice?
The President's Choice ones, we just go through them at work. Like I buy them, I think they're $2 or $3 each. And then when they're not sharp anymore, I usually just give them to the bar at work.
But they do stay sharp for quite a while.
They do stay sharp.
And you can sharpen them. So.
You can sharpen them.
Yeah.
Like they can all be sharpened.
So the question that everybody has been waiting to hear the answer for, what is your number 1 tool?
My number 1 tool is my hands. Because your hands are your best tool. These are the things that I work with every day, and if they're injured or if they're tired, then I can't do my job. But I use my hands, as you've seen in all these videos, I use it for mixing, I use my hands for plating, I use my hands to feel a dough or to feel a temperature. So your hands are your most important tool. And to me, they are my most important tool, even though they're very crooked, and I think I'm starting to get arthritis maybe.
They've seen a lot of action in the last 25
They've seen a lot
years.
of action in a long time.
And some people think that it's, unhygienic maybe to use your hands without gloves or something like that, but the amount of time that you spend washing your hands.
Obviously we have hand washing stations at work and we're constantly washing our hands. That's why there's always a big thing of hand cream in the office, because my hands are always dry. So these are my top 10 tools. Nothing fancy, nothing state of the art, but if I go anywhere or if I have to go cook somewhere else, pretty much all of these tools get packed up and I take them with me. Doesn't have to be fancy, it just has to work for you.